It's August the 3rd, 2016. I'm Dana Durnford, your host. We have unusual circumstances here that I think the people in Victoria, British Columbia, Canada should be aware of. And what you have is a man who at the least is guilty of manslaughter and fraud, and at worst is an outright murderer. This person is working as a host. Now, as a travel agent. I'm going to walk you through this. This is our first picture of him, and I joined the pictures and rotated them. And so we also got a name from a copyright claim against him. And he works as a local travel agent. His name is Louis Lamoureux. He's wanted for the death of Jeff Palco. So this might get a little bit confusing, so bear with me. And that's the wrong one. It's okay. Here we go. So I'm going to play this clip here first.
But the sad part is a lot of people have donated to this scammer, and one of the guys unfortunately took his life. A fellow Canadian took his life on December 24th, 2014, because he followed this guy on YouTube by the name of Dana Durnford, who told him, that Dana happens to live on the west coast where I am.
And that would be me. Here's what else he had to say about me.
I want him judged and hung. He needs to be hung. He is part of the New World Order sellout agents on YouTube, defrauding people out of thousands of dollars.
Okay, so bear with me. This is a video of him 5 years ago, leaving Victoria and traveling allegedly across Canada, taking donations. And there's two parts to this. Here's the first part. This part.
So as I mentioned before, you have to wait for this bar. These are 20-second cycles. You have to. Whoa, that's really high, folks. At 1.2, you're to exit the area. That's 1.3. Now we have to wait for 5 of these cycles to know if it's actually. Okay, dangerous. Okay.
Okay. Now here, that was 5 years ago. He came up in my community, and I'm going to play that clip for you in a second. I'm going to play what he found. He was calling me a fraud, but this is what he found in my community. This is his video a few weeks ago.
Come back here, see if we find anything. Okay, I'm not going to stay down at this beach. There's not too much here. I mean, there is some vegetation on rocks, but other than that, the beach is bare, and it's full of boulders. It's not even a nice place to sleep by the beach. So
now he came up here to harass me in my community. Now why he was here, this is 2 weeks ago, not 5 years ago, right? Just remember that video you just watched where he danger. Now watch this. This is 2 weeks ago.
yes, it's radioactive. Yes, I shouldn't be touching it right now. You're absolutely correct. So I'll be doing a test later on. I've already tested them, but yeah, just to... Whoops. Gotta hit the reset. Alright, so yeah, soaps, same thing with the soaps, Very reactionary. Okay, so I'm going to take that out of my hand, obviously. We'll do it.
Right. And 5 years ago.
This is unbelievable, folks. Just unbelievable. So those of you that were doubting if Fukushima is coming here on the west coast, well, I'm in Alberta already, and here we go, 0.68. I feel like I have to go through a car wash immediately. I don't know what else to say, really. I mean, obviously my car is saturated now, or my truck is saturated with high levels of radiation. I mean,
right, and you just seen him calibrated from 2 weeks ago. This is what he was doing, driving across Canada, taking money. Now, the scary part is there's victims. Now, the emails we're going to show you coming up right away. Discover the truth. That's Jeff Palco's. Excuse me, I got to bring up this other screen so we can do that. Discover the truth at the top at Yahoo. That's Jeff. Jeff is dead. That was the guy he talked about earlier, committed suicide because he donated to me while I was on the ocean when all this happened, on the expeditions. Okay, so here's Jeff's response, 10th of November. Now, the 24th of December, next month, he commits a suicide. We called the funeral home 4 times to make sure this was real, but we haven't confirmed it through. It's a long story. But anyway, Ashley was talking. He said to Ashley, "Hi, Ashley, my decision has been made, and you'll understand this in a minute. I am going to continue with my support for Dana. He's out there busting his ass. I was on the ocean, gathering data, and doing more than any government on the planet." That's what Jeff had to say about me. The boat is going to remain with Dana. See, that's a very strange statement because people donate to you. Why would they say something like that? I'll show you coming up, because of the guy, Louis Lamoureux, connecting dots on the internet. 1, connecting dots 2, connecting dots 3, and Silver Gold Man. Louis Lamoureux from Victoria, British Columbia, Canada. I'll show you more of that coming up. The boat is going to remain with Dana so he can accomplish the tasks. And I was gone for 5 months. Yeah? Documenting the west coast of BC and Fukushima impacts. Doc's videos. Now this is Jeff Palco, the man who's dead, says he is picking it up. It's not happening. So here was Dot's going to come up and take a boat away from somebody on a research project on the ocean. Meanwhile, he drove across Canada raising money, taking radiation readings, and is now saying there's no radiation there, and there's no life on the beaches like the video clip I showed you. Let's keep reading. I replied to email below, so read it, blah, blah, blah. Too much to remember to respond up here. Dana's busting his balls on the entire ocean on his own. I did my part to help him the best I could. My support is with Dana. So then Ashley says, CD has zoned in on good people doing good things. I think that's Ashley. Miss Milky, Radchick, Stacy, to name a few. I can understand why he goes to bat for you. I would also do the same if you knew the things you told me. However, innocent good people don't deserve his shit. We were fighting the biggest. So I'm not sure what's going on. Dots is wanting, so the paragraph right above me. Dots is wanting to take action way too fast for my liking. This is Palco, who committed suicide a little over a month later. I just got onto the net yesterday for the first time in a month and a half, and Dot wants me to take action on his schedule. I don't know his name, face, or anything about him. It's a staggering statement, but he wants to come take the boat from me that's donated to me while I'm on the ocean on the Fukushima expeditions for life. Okay. He wants the boat. It will be better with Dana so he can cruise the ocean looking. That's what we were doing. We were going to take samples, but there was nothing out there, as Dot showed you in that video earlier, and is up at the nuclear proctologist on my website. At the end of the day, if all of us hounds were scammers, this is what Ashley was saying, I guess, I would have created a website selling Fukushima hounds and bikini calendars, blah, blah, blah. Okay. I'm going to stay the course with Dana anyway. This is what Jeff Palco had said. Okay. So, let me back off. This is an email from Connecting Dots. This guy up here who was scamming everybody driving across with a fake sample to set off the Geiger counters into hop mode, right? To raise money. Now, what I'm going to show you next is startling. I'll fix that. I'm not sure what's going on. So here's what Dots, you see at the top of the page, Connecting Dots 1. He says to Jeff Palco, so you would be okay with the petition if you were to see a dime or more from him? And listen, Jeff, fact is Kevin is scamming people and promoting Dana's scam. All I done was document the coastline. I don't know how taking pictures of the coastline and saying, hey, the species are missing, and putting that up at my website free for everybody to use could be construed as a scam. And I was on the ocean while this was happening for 5 months without getting back home. Because we had to raise money, because this guy was defunding me the whole way through. Jeff had contributed, but many people had contributed. Listen, Jeff, fact is Kevin's is scamming people and promoting Dana's scam, and you're the biggest donor. All we do is we accept donations. There's 90 million people using my same website format, Squarespace, and they got donate buttons. Most people do. He said, "Are you not in the least concerned how? Are you not concerned how others are being scammed?" I changed the format so you can read it. Okay, so that's supposed to be number 1. I got to fix that now because that's a different format. I got to move it. That's okay. I'll get it. Are you not concerned with how others are being scammed? He says to Jeff. He's bullying Jeff. Now look at the date at the top of your page. Look at the date at the top of your page. Hang on, I'll bring it down for you. December the 10th. 14 days before Jeff committed suicide. He wrote this one to Jeff. Like Jeff had read you earlier. He just got back on the internet, and then he's been around it on the 10th of November, right? 10th of November, top corner, left-hand corner. And so the bottom paragraph right now. You know, I just received another email from a subscriber. And that's why this guy asked why you hadn't asked for the boat back from Dana. So, Connecting Dots, Louis Lamoureux, is using some kind of weird technique here where he says, you know, oh, I'm getting all kinds of pressure because you won't give me the boat. He wants the boat for himself. That's what this email is all about. And he got people sending in emails wondering why he doesn't have the boat. But like Jeff says, he don't know what it looks like, don't know nothing about him. And he's being vicious. So he says, this guy asked why you haven't asked for the boat back from Dana, and stating that Dana's already admitted the boat wasn't his. No, I said Jeff could have the boat back after the expeditions. I wanted the boat for the expeditions. I didn't care about the boat. Jeff said he didn't want the boat back. Wasn't his to begin. Not that that matters. We'll give it back to Jeff Palco if he asks for it. And I've said that many times in my video. I said that about all the stuff. But if people are going to be monsters towards me, I'm going to lose respect for them. So would anybody else. Like Dots has done. So Jeff, when exactly do you plan on asking for the boat back after Dana rips off another 40,000 to 150,000 more from innocent, good-hearted YouTubers? That's a staggering statement. He wants the boat for himself. Okay, keep going, because I want something to answer all these people who's been sending me emails asking him why he hasn't got the boat yet. All summer long, ask him why isn't Jeff's brother or family, Jeff's same age as me, how come his brother and his family? It's a really strange statement, see? Isn't ending this more recently asking why isn't Jeff ending this fraud and scam? I'm on the ocean, on the expedition, on the ocean, on the expedition. This is 14 days before Jeff commits suicide. We don't know how many more emails, but this was going on the whole time I was gone. And I was gone for 5 months. Jeff committed suicide while I was up by Alaska. Jeff's in Alberta. Since most YouTubers have now seen how you know the Expedition for Life is a total fraud, how I'm out documenting the coastline. I haven't come back. I'm uploading little pictures at the bandwidths I can find along the way, but I'm living on a 25-foot boat. And so the boat in question Let's bring that up. Was donated in the Expeditions for Life, and everything on it, we raised the money and built the cabin, put the extra motors on it, and everything else, you know, for their ever after. For 260 days, we raised the rest of the money. We showed the coastline was naked instead of looking like this, like it should look. Not like me. That's Louise and Earl in Queen Charlotte's. So I've done 15,000 miles of the coastline. It's all up at my website. It's all up at my website. Might never find that other stuff. Hang on. I'll get it. That's not it. Nobody knows what I got done with that. Bear with me. Could be there. Yep, there should be. Okay, back to this one. Since most YouTubers, blah, 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 the expedition for total fraud, why are you being such a pussy on speaking out against it? And asking for your boat back from Dana. He was harassing him constantly, pushing him, squeezing him, threatening him, coercing him. And asking for your boat back from Dana? Why does he care that I got a boat? Why is he doing that? Why is he saying these kinds of things? Why is he challenging Jeff month after month while I'm on the ocean, trying to get the boat for himself? Why was he on the out driving across looking for radiation after? Why was he doing that? Why was he faking those numbers? We know now he's faking it from 2 weeks ago. We know when he came up and checked the beach, there was nothing on the beach, right? He went right down. He went right down. Hang on.
Come back here. If we find anything.
So he
Okay,
found a
I'm not
handful
gonna
of
stay down
species,
at
10
this beach.
species. And slugs, you saw? Birds eat slugs, and they don't come out in the daytime very often. They come out at nighttime because the birds are not going to be eating them so much. Well, bats will, but...
Not too much here. I mean, there is some vegetation on rocks, but...
This is a couple of weeks ago in my community. The same guy with these emails, who 14 days after this one, we don't know how many more exchanges happened, Jeff Palco committed suicide.
I want him judged and hung. He needs to be hung. He is part of the New World Order sellout agents on YouTube, defrauding people out of thousands of dollars.
I was on the ocean because I didn't have enough money, because he was demonizing me constantly. But the fact that he murdered one of my sponsors, someone who bought me the boat, a major investment, but he told me his dad was the top 10%. He told me that he burns more than that on taxes each year. I did ask him. I was concerned. But the fact that he was stalked and harassed and vilified and demonized and harassed constantly, even when he come back on it, just bombarded. Give me the boat, give me the boat, give me the boat, give me the boat, give me the boat. In order to demonize. Then he come out, well, Dana's sponsor took the boat away because Dana's a fraud. When in reality, all that documentation is up at the nuclearproctologist.org. It's for free. It's for everybody. You can make documentaries out of it and monitorize it. I don't hide nothing from anybody. But Louis Lamoureux works as a local travel agent in Victoria, British Columbia, Canada, is guilty of homicide, manslaughter, Jeff Palco minimum. He harassed him right till he committed death. He's harassed me nonstop and everybody associated with me. He emails everybody that talks on my videos. And video after video after video, he has demonized me and vilified me. But I'm so busy doing the research and the things that I do that I've been on the ocean for 260 days, 15,000 miles. And so I had a lot of catching up to do, and a lot of understanding. And it was only recently I got my hands on these emails and understood the significance of what they really meant. But it's taken me several months to analyze it and to digest it and to appreciate what happened. But nothing drives the point further home than faking the numbers when he's in my community, staging it. And then you see 5 years ago where he was using that same trick to deceive the Canadians. So if there's any doubt in your mind, those emails, these are legit, and you should report them to the police for sure, and direct them to the video, and we'll have an amazing amount of information of what he's done. If the police go look at his site, they'll see that he's constantly accusing me of that death, and I have absolutely nothing to do with it. I'm a legitimate researcher who spent 260 days and posted it for free up at my website. I don't hide away. And then we finally got that. I married him together. I flipped him, rotated him. Now I got his name. We know what he works at. We got the documentation of the scams. And we know he's remorseless and relentless from these types of emails. It is he's a travel agent. This is very dangerous to have this type of person in your community taking advantage of people who don't know anybody in your community. Who knows how many people might have disappeared in Victoria because of this man known as a stalker, and who harassed a man so much he did commit suicide, and then immediately tried to raise money for his son, and then used the death of him and accused me of causing that when I was on the ocean, and when Jeff was obviously tormented, obviously at wit's end, obviously distraught, and obviously worried. And even 14 days before, Jeff Palco had committed suicide to escape this person. There's no way Jeff, I talked to Jeff lots on the phone. There's no way Jeff was committing suicide. He was loving life. He was at restaurants all the time. He told me the things he was up to. He had a bad accident, but he wasn't stupid, he wasn't naive, and he wasn't gullible. But this person barbarized him. Hugs for everybody. My apologies for any interruptions during the stream or the recording. But it's a hard video to make. It really is, but we need to have a conversation, so there it is. Take care. Hugs for everybody.
And he says the eel winds will be here, and it's going to knock off 1.89 billion people. I'm hoping it's not you. I'm hoping you're someone who's awake, you're paying attention. Good night, folks, and I hope you share this with everyone. I got more coming up. Take care.